Hey guys, it's Gabby. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't seen my face before, my name is Gabby and welcome to Christian Advice for Teens. Today, y'all, I forgot my paper. Gotta get that paper. Hold on. Okay, so I have my paper here. When we go through hard times, we tend to have a lot of doubts. We always tend to think that God is not on our side, that He's punishing us, and most of the time it's the enemy telling us that God is punishing us and that we're, just everything that you've ever heard, that you're being punished because you did this, or, you deserve this, and you're never going to find a way out. And that's not the case. We go through things for a reason, just like our parents punish us, or just like our parents do things to teach us a lesson, oh God, give me strength. When we go through hard times, we often tend to drift from God because we feel like, whenever life is all good and giddy, we like to stay close to God and we're happy with God, and, we want to, we as Christians are going to suffer, just like Jesus suffered. We're all going to go through hard times. We're always going to go through hard times. We're not, just because we're Christian doesn't mean we're immortal to hard times. No. We are still going to go through hard times just like any regular person would. And, you have to go through the hard times to experience the good things. When we go through hard times, we often tend to drift from God because we feel like we don't deserve what we're going through. We don't understand why we're going through what we're going through. And, that might have sounded like a tongue twister. But, God is not punishing you, okay? If you're going through something right now, He's not punishing you. You're just going through a test. We go through tests as Christians just to get stronger and to see how close we are with God. Just like Job, when, Satan was telling God that, Job, or to test him to see if he'll still stay true to you, And sometimes we go through things to see if we'll stay true to God, and God wants to see if we're going to stay true to Him, because all our life is not always going to be happy and pleasant and great and splendid. No, that's not how it works. We are going to go through hard times whether we like it or not. When we're going through hard times, you don't want to drift away from Him. You want to drift closer to Him, because God is going to bring you through it. I remember I was going through hard times, and if it were for God and my relationship with Him and me praying to Him and me keeping my faith and relationship with Him, I would have made it out the way I did. And the one thing that really kept me going was, I remember I was at church, and me and my mom were going through something together, and it was painful for us. It was annoying, and there were times where we wanted to do our own thing, but we knew to keep our faith to God. And I remember the pastor was like, God is pleased with you. You passed the test. And we looked at each other. We were like, what? And so, you may feel like you're not doing you may have doubts. You may feel like you're not doing right. You may feel like you're not pleasing God. But all you need is that one motivation, that one word from someone, or God to tell you something, and you know that you're doing right, In hard times, we have doubts. You will always have doubts. I've had doubts before. And just because you have doubts doesn't mean you're not doing what you're doing. We just have to learn to give it to God. Because when you give it to God, you know that you're doing the right thing, because you're letting God guide you. We can't do anything on our own. We can't expect to go through hard times by ourselves, because we're not prepared for certain things. And God knows all things. He's the way of all things. And if He put us through something, you better believe He's going to bring you out. He's not going to bring you there, just leave you there and make you figure it out. No. If you want to figure it out, that's you. But God is willing to work it out with you. He's willing to let you give it to Him. And that's why He gives you hard times. So you can learn to give it to Him. You don't have to carry the burdens on your arms and on your shoulders. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is just give it to Him. And that's the main reason why we go through things. It's because sometimes we just need to learn to give it to Him. Because sometimes we may feel, when you're like an early Christian, you just start your faith, you tend to think that when a bad thing happens to you, you just have to deal with it. But no, we can give it to Him. He wants us to give it to him. He wants us to give our problems to him and depend on him and praise him and trust in him. That's all he ever wants. He wants us to love him and trust him and, be close to him. And when you're going through hard times, one thing you can do is pray, pray, pray. That's all you can do is pray. That's the best thing you can do is pray. Prayer is key. Prayer and reading the Bible, that's going to keep you strong. I don't know where I would be with my tough times if I wasn't praying to God, because you need to pray to him for strength. There are times when you need to pray just to have that connection with him, because when you are praying to God, you have this. It's like you're having one-on-one with God. And you need that one-on-one with God when you're going through hard times, especially when you're going through hard times. You can't be like, oh, I'm not happy because why am I going through this? It's not fair. Life is not always going to be easy. And just because it stops getting easy doesn't mean you blame it on God and get mad at him. Things are going to get hard. And things are going to have to get hard for you to learn how to get stronger and to depend on him. And for when harder times come that you can't handle, or when harder things come, you know how to work things out. You know how to give it to him. You know how to handle it. God isn't, life isn't meant to be easy all the time. You shouldn't want it to be easy all the time, because if it's always easy, you won't know how to handle the hard times. You won't know what to do when that little ounce of joy is gone. You won't know what to do. And when you are able to pray to him and read the Bible, you have this connection with him that no one can take away, because it's showing that you trust him. It's when you're praying, you're saying, God, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm going through. And I just need you to give me strength, God. I give it to you. I give it all to you. And it's okay to be confused, And it's a good thing to pray, because when you're praying, you're saying, I trust you. That's all God wants to hear, is that we trust him. He wants us to trust him. He doesn't want us to think that we don't love him, that he does not want us to think that he doesn't love us, or that we're just going through something just to go through it. No. We are going through it for a reason we may not understand. But in the end, it's going to make you stronger. And it's going to help you. When tougher times come, you're going to be like, God, I know you can bring me through this, because you brought me through that thing in 2012 and 2011. You brought me through all those things. And I thank you. But when harder things come, you will know that you can handle it, because you handled that thing that happened before. You handled that hardship. Hardships. They lead to harder things. So when you go through one hardship, it'll teach you how to go through the next hardship, which is going to be harder. And you know how to handle it because you had God by your side. You know you can do it. When you first start to believe in God, when you just first give it to God, every hard time, you don't even have to worry about it. Just give it to God. All the hard times, just give it to God. Whenever something comes at you, whenever the enemy comes at you, just give it to God. And that's what you want to think of hard times as. Just giving it to God. It's just training. And it is training. It's training for the better things. Heaven. To give it to God, When it's, basically. Another thing. Keep your eyes on God. And God only. I don't know if I keep saying things over and over again. But keep your eyes on God and God only. Never, ever turn your eyes away from God. Because if you think you can handle it by yourself, you can't. Because the enemy will try to come at you and say, hey, you know how to deal with this? You can drink. Or you can smoke. Or you know how you can deal with this? You don't need God. All you have to do is do this and this. And Satan will sugarcoat it till it makes your mouth water. All you have to do is turn your eyes away from God. He's right at you. He's right at you. He does not need anyone to tell him anything. He's coming right at you. When you turn away from God, that's his opportunity. Satan comes at you in hard times because he knows when you're weak. And when you're weak, you tend to look away from God. But when we're weak, that's when we want to seek strength. And if you're weak, all I want to tell you right now is to pray. Pray right now. Pause the video and pray and ask for strength. Because the harder our life becomes, the stronger we become. And the easier it is for us to just give it to him. And that's what the main focus of this video is. When you go through hard times, just give it to God. That way, you don't have a burden on your shoulders. That way you don't have to worry about, can I carry this, or can I handle this? Because you don't have to worry about that. God's right there with open arms. He's ready to handle it for you. He's ready. That's all he wants. He doesn't need you. He doesn't want you to think that. Because I feel like a lot of people, when they go through hard things, they think that God's just saying, okay, here you go, good luck. No. He's saying, I want you to go through this. But I'm going to go through it with you. I want you to learn to give it to me. I want you to learn to trust in me. Because I love you. But I want you to know, just because I love you doesn't mean you won't go through hard times. It won't be easy. But with me by your side, you can handle anything. All you need is that instant inspiration. And when God tells you, good luck, not good luck, sorry. Good job, you passed, you know all of it was worth it. All those tears, all those times when you had doubt, and all those praying on your knees, reading the Bible, it was worth it. If you want a story time on how I got through what I got through, if you guys want a story time on how I went through what my hardship was and how I got through it, feel free to comment below and I'll make a video on it. If it's going to help someone, I'll definitely share my story. And if God wants me to film a video on it, I will. But if you really want to see it, comment down below, like this video, and subscribe to my channel. Because things you may go through are not only a learning curve for you, but it's inspiration for someone else that you can tell your story. And, you never know who it's going to help. You never know. So, I hope this video made sense. Alright guys, well, I hope you guys like this video. Alright guys, well, you come to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I made sense. This topic was, it's hard to explain, but I hope I made sense. Alright. Alright guys, well, you reached the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hoped it helped you with your relationship with God, and helped you realize that everyone goes through hard times, and just because you're going through it doesn't mean you have to go through it alone. God is there. Don't believe what anyone says. Keep your eyes focused on God and only God. Don't let anybody tell you any different. God is not punishing you. He does not hate you. He loves you. And I love you. So, hope you guys subscribe, like this video, and if you want a story time of how I got through my hard time, make sure to tell me, and I'll definitely do it. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!